WandaVision episode 4 has come and gone. We watched it. We want to talk about it. We're going to give our reactions tonight. My name is Travis.
And I'm Peel, and this is the Travis and Peel Show.
Ooh, wow, wow, wee, wah. That was nice. I like the WandaVisions. Episode 4. If you were complaining that WandaVision was not, it doesn't have that MCU feel, you can shut your pie hole right now because, my God, this was a great episode. This was a great episode.
It was fun. What can we say? This was, all those questions and all the things that we've been talking about. We get a good amount of answers now. We're understanding and seeing what's happening. Very happy to see this in the episode. Obviously, the first part of this is just going to be our reactions. Did we like it? What did we think?
Spoiler alert, we liked it a lot.
Yeah,
it was good.
It was definitely well put together, answered a lot of questions, brought things in, like Travis said, we got some of that MCU feel, like, here's what's happening, here's what's going on. The first 4 episodes are out right now. We only have 4 episodes left now. Like, it's only 8 episodes for the season, right? So we only have 4 left. We're halfway there, and we hit this, this milestone where it's, this is event horizon. There's no turning back. It's time to get into the nitty gritty. Travis, I say, spoiler alerts. After this, I liked it. Travis liked it. There's no need to cushion this. If you haven't watched it yet, get out there.
If you were hesitant to watch episode by episode, but you just can't give in anymore, you're ready to give in. This is a good time. This gives you a great, like, you get a good look. In 4 episodes, you get a good look of the sitcom style, and then you also get a taste of what's really going on behind the curtain, or at least some of what's going on behind the curtain. So this is a really good time to jump in if you are hesitant. So yeah, let's go from here on out. Full spoilers. I'm sure you're watching this after you've seen it, but if not, beware. We are going to talk about everything that happens, or everything that we thought that made an impression, if anything. So I want to kick off with, by far, my favorite part of the episode, which was the very, very beginning. Monica Rambeau in half of a hospital coming back from the blip after
rematerializing.
Hulk snaps his fingers. We saw a taste of this in Spider-Man Far From Home, where
with the band and everything in the gymnasium.
They kind of come in, but you don't really see it. But we get a close-up shot of Monica like rematerializing, and if for a second I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? And when she took her first breath, like she looked confused, I was like, holy shit! She came back from the blip. She came back. Amazing. That was so cool. And then to see the chaos that ensued, because you apparently have like a full hospital as it is, but then like the amount of people double in the hospital and everybody's freaking out. What a great idea. Because like this is the most in terms of like it happening in the real world, the most biggest thing that has happened to the human race ever. And this is one of the few times where it really felt like it. Like it really felt like, holy shit, like people came back to life. It almost gave me a little bit of I don't know if you watched The Leftovers on the HBO. Have you seen that show? Kind of a similar.
Yes. There's like 3 seasons.
Kind of a similar premise to Thanos' snap in a way, and it felt like that. It really, really felt like that. I love this intro. What did you think?
The intro was fantastic. Sitting back, seeing, Monica or Geraldine. Now everybody knows. We've mentioned the name several times. So that people tell me like, "Who's Monica?" You guys keep saying this name, Geraldine. Yeah, it's Monica Rambeau. Here you go. So her and, like you said, 25-50% of the hospital rematerializing in the middle of an ER. You see patients, you see doctors, you see nurses. Everybody doesn't know what the hell is going on. Like you said, mass chaos ensuing. And then you see her, she sees her, her mom's doctor. And she's like, oh my God, where's my mom? And your doctor's like, it's you. And she's like, what do you mean? She's like, where's my mom at? She's like, your mom's dead. And she's like, what do you mean? She's like, your mom died 3 years ago, which was 2 years
after you disappeared.
After the Thanos snap. So obviously this blows her mind. And she just realized that her mom was cleared from cancer. That was her last memory, was knowing that her mom was going to wake up soon and she was going to be okay. To have this happen and feel like it was just a few
Can you
seconds.
imagine that? That is
And
brutal.
then wake up to find out your mom died.
That is brutal.
She was fine after the surgery, but she died years later, and you disappeared. Like that's crazy. But and the next thing you know, boom, here we go. We're going right into the sword compound. It goes right into it. Like this is what she was doing beforehand to give us a nice little background. Of course, that her mom from Captain America, Maria Photon,
Captain
Rambeau.
Marvel, I think. Captain Marvel, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. Let's say Captain Planet. What did I say?
Captain Planet. Yeah.
Captain Planet and the Planeteers. That's going to be Phase 6 of the MCU.
Disney has to buy that for Disney will buy it eventually.
Yeah.
Trust us, it's going to happen. They're going to own everything.
So Maria Rambeau is one who's like kind of started Sword after everything with Captain Marvel. Everything is going into this compound's part of Shield.
Captain Planet. I'm sorry. Let's go. Keep going. I'm sorry. That was great. That was funny.
Okay. So Monica obviously they said you mentioned it, grew up here. They got the new commander in charge who knew her from before, Tyler Haywood, and they're just like talking, hey, we lost half our people to the blip. This is the program. We need you back in. We want you on the feet. And it's like, how long did this happen? So obviously, like the whole entire her being gone was 5 years, right?
Yeah.
And then it comes into this, and so you're guessing after she realizes that it's a couple weeks. I think it said 3 weeks later or something like that. So she didn't take too much time after coming back to life to try to get back into to her old life. And so during this, if that's what happened, how long is this after Endgame? Right? It's 3 weeks, pretty much. The snap happened with Hulk, and then they go into the fight within a couple of days. So 2 weeks later, so Endgame has happened already. So that's where we are right now in the Marvel timeline. This is right after Endgame. It's not months, years later. This is right there. So technically, I think in the MCU universe, it's like 2023 or somewhere around there, 2022,
right?
Something like that.
It's pretty parallel-ish to Spider-Man.
Homecoming, yeah. Kind of. So this is kind of going on, and all these characters are doing this, so it's not interfering with what's happening in that storyline. So it all kind of works out.
Yep. What else? There's kind of a lot in this episode because, like, the episode, what was cool about it is, we had episode 1, 2, and 3, and this episode runs parallel with those episodes because once Sword eventually gets established near Westview, which a ton of weird stuff is happening, like the police there. Like they've never heard of the town Westview, like they're from Eastview. Monica is like she immediately. I was actually surprised that she just immediately gets sucked in after looking at the the force field, the pocket reality itself, and everything like that.
This chick wastes no time.
Wastes no
She's
time.
all about it.
She is. She jumps right in head first. Good for her. One of my other favorite things about this, because after Monica goes in, that gives us Kat Dennings with Darcy. We haven't seen her since
Darcy Lewis.
We haven't seen her since Thor 2, and she was a treat to have back in the MCU. And I like how they kind of explained why she wasn't in any Marvel movies. Oh, she was busy getting her PhD. She's a doctor now.
Yeah, and she's now an astrophysicist.
yeah. So that's what
PhD.
she was doing. Hey, where's Darcy been? We love Darcy. We want her back in the MCU. She was getting her doctorate, so that explains everything. And she was great. Yeah, she does a pretty great job. Stepping right back in that role. She has an important role. She finds she kind of finds out about the sitcom itself. She uses her expertise, finds out about the sitcom, and that's when we start seeing that this is happening parallel. We see them watching the episode from the 50s and from the 60s and going into the other episodes and stuff like that. So they're starting to slowly catch on. And you mentioned both of our favorite aspects of this episode was Wu is what is he doing?
Yeah, Agent Wu. He's writing on the whiteboard as they're going through the episodes, and this whiteboard looks like the internet from the past 3 weeks.
It was all of our questions.
Happening? What's going on? Who is this? Everything we've been talking about on the show was on the whiteboard.
They knew what the internet was going to talk about. They knew what the topics of conversation were going to be, and they slapped them on the whiteboard right in front of us. So it was cool to see Sword for a second was in the same position that we were, which was really, really fun.
I like to think that we're just pretty much Sword.
We're pretty much
on the same
yeah.
level.
We're swords. That was really cool. I enjoy that. And I
And
mean,
just getting to the compound, I mean, like, Darcy mentions in this episode, as soon as she first gets in there, she's with an artificial intelligence specialist and a chemical engineer and all this other kind of stuff. And this compound, I mean, they have FBI, CIA, Army, Navy, Marines, Space Force, Sword, Shield. I'm pretty sure PETA was around there somewhere.
yeah,
They're like a
probably.
little bit of everything was inside this episode, like inside this compound, trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, we saw Monica, just so she gets the job, she goes to do this. They're looking for a missing person in Westview, and that's when she runs into Agent Wu, who we know him now from Ant-Man and Ant-Man and Wasp and everything. So it's also cool to see him get into this as well. We're getting some of these side characters that didn't have a lot of screen time in the MCU that are all kind of coming together, but it's all these background pieces, or everything works together. It's a giant clock, all the cogs have to turn. So they're at this place, obviously, like you said. It's Darcy who discovers, hey, there's this extra frequency coming off these cosmic radiations, these CMBRs that they talk about, which are left over from the Big Bang Theory. And you mentioned this before. They mentioned that from the Infinity Stones or something that was also left over in the creation of the universe.
Very interesting.
So this radiation is kind of giving off the same feed as Infinity Stones. And, and she's watching something play out as a sitcom on old tube TVs that is coming off of this CMBR.
Yeah. And what's the quote? You had the quote written down about the sitcom, like the universe in a sitcom. What was that quote?
Oh, yeah. The sitcom that they talked about, they said, so the universe wanted to create a sitcom and have it star 2 Avengers.
Yes. I thought this was quite interesting because last week I even mentioned that it feels like Wanda is kind of like, she has more powers than she used to have. Like, she's kind of like tapping into the stones. And that comment about the universe wanting to have a sitcom takes me back to Infinity War, when Wong was explaining to to Tony Stark and team like what the Infinity Stones are. And he explains that the Infinity Stones come from the universe. They came from the creation of the universe, the Big Bang. Once the Big Bang happened, the stones spread out across the galaxy. So seeing that she can now control time, she can bend reality. I'm sure, we've seen like her chaos magic, and she's not been able to do half of the stuff that she's done in the show. So she's clearly tapping in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the power that she got from the stones, we know she's directly attached to the Mind Stone, because the Mind Stone, which I think we're going to find out that's what Baron Strucker used to awaken her mutant powers. Or her and her brothers,
or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and then of course her bond with Vision, and Vision having the Mind Stone in his head, like she's bonded. She's like her powers are, if anything, made stronger by the stones, and now she can kind of
probably like a
that
power source.
Yeah,
and like I said, I said this in my own little theory that I thought that her connection with the stones and everything, and Vision's like she's kind of being a battery maybe for keeping a part of him alive.
Very
possible. my theory.
I didn't know when you said that before if that had any weight to it, but this adds to that for sure. I kind of like that theory now a little bit more.
So, remember, day one, I said this. I said it.
Day one.
Anyway, so after they talk about the radiation, they talk about the universe creating a sitcom. They say, okay, guess what? We're watching the show. We're following everything that's happening. What do we have? Boom, boom. WandaVision. We know 2 identities. I want everybody else's. And they go through systematically naming and IDing everybody who they are seeing in the show. Okay, the Hearts, this is Mr. and Mr. Crawford or whatever. They're residents of the city. You see their driver's license up there. New Jersey.
All these missing
They're
people,
naming out everybody who they see. They're all people who are in Westview. These are all real people, and they are all playing these roles as whoever. Because they even say, this one guy is cast as so-and-so. So everybody is playing a role, and everybody is a real person that is there, except one thing. Except they show her on the screen. They do not show any pictures of her. They do not ID or name her. Agnes is not shown or identified in any of those pictures. And you can look at it. I watched a couple times. She's not on there. So why didn't they ID Agnes? Why isn't that in there?
Because she's a witch that was born back, hundreds and hundreds of years ago in league with Mephisto. Maybe not.
Maybe.
We'll see.
So yeah, very interesting seeing them go through and kind of get everybody going. And during this time, there's other things that are happening. Once again, this is all going parallel with episodes 1, 2, and
Mm-hmm.
3. They they're questioning why the 50s, why the 60s, why a sitcom. And Darcy even thought, she's like, oh no, I dig it. I'm invested. They're sitting there eating popcorn and everything and snacks, and she's like, oh, twins, what a twist! They didn't expect that.
Yeah, that's great.
And they also they do try the experiments, the things that we saw, like in episode 2, where the
Oh yeah,
radio's going off,
the
that's ruling them
radio and
talking.
yep.
But when they're watching it on the television, if you noticed, it glitches, or it's
Mm-hmm.
it's censored, and they don't see the glass breaking or the blood like we saw in the episode that was happening right there
Right.
in Westview. Only thing she saw was them start talking, the radio thing, and then boop,
Mm-hmm.
Debbie was walking away.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw this in a few other things, like obviously,
Well, there was
once they
one
get to
big
the
thing
park where
specifically. Yeah.
yeah, Monica and Wanda having the conversation that we left
Mm-hmm.
off close to the end of episode 3, where did they just mention Ultron? Does they just reference our reality? And then boom, it shoots in there. Wanda, Monica, once again, screen pans out from standard format, goes back to regular widescreen for everybody, and then they
Mm-hmm.
have their interaction. You're not a friend. I don't know you. You're a stranger. What are you doing here? Pulls up powers, boom, puts her through 6 walls, 2 fences, and then out the force field.
Yeah.
Gone. And in my, like, I don't know if it was just me, but after you saw her use her powers and do that, um, Wanda, Scarlet Witch, she looks confused. Like she doesn't recognize her power. She's looking at her hands. She kind of
Mm-hmm.
looks a little dazed from it. Then, of course, we see the part where, just like we left off, hey, where's Monica? Vision's walking in through the back door. And when she turns around this time, she sees Vision, how we last saw him. He had a quarter
It
of his head
was
missing. He was pale, done, no eyes, just death. He
yeah, it was
was
pretty
the
creepy.
dead
It was
Vision.
really
It was
creepy. Yeah,
creepy.
for sure. Yeah.
And then she
And,
like
and it was when it
shakes
was
her
shocking
head.
too. It was shocking too because like you expected because we just watched the episode last week, so we expected him to just be like, "Hey, what's going on? Where's Monica?" And then no, like
Yep.
he is fucking dead eyes, hole in his head. That was a
It was
great
creepy. They
use
did
of
a really
shock
good job of
value.
it.
Yeah.
That lack of color, since they got this so bunch of
Oof.
vibrancy going on, and that scene when you turn around, it was ghastly. It was very
Yeah, it
creepy.
was very creepy.
And then all of a sudden he's back. He's fine. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
They love each other. Everything's going great. They pick up the twins. They sit on the couch, and we see Monica sitting out where we left her at the end of episode 3, and she's sitting there and she's just saying, "It's all Wanda. It's all Wanda."
It's
And then Wanda
all
tells
Wanda.
Vision, I have this all under control.
So there's going to be
Episode ends.
speculation.
And so
There's
now
going
we're
to be
caught up.
speculation.
Episode 3 and 4 end at the same spot.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of
a lot of
speculation
things.
here. So clearly, Wanda 100% created this. She created this. Now, whether or not she had help or was coaxed into something, a deal with the devil, or it's all her, we don't know. That's the next mystery, I think, in regards to this. But we do know that she created it now, and she does seem to be cognizant of the fact that she wants to keep everything normal in here.
At times. Sometimes you see her pull out where she doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
At least appearing to.
Yeah, it's weird. I wouldn't be surprised if like her original deal with this pocket reality was, I want to remember nothing. I want to be I want the Matrix pill that just keeps me back in the Matrix. I don't want to know anything. Ignorance is bliss. I think that's what she wanted to do, and I think why you're seeing her kind of like be kind of confused is because she had intentions and they're not coming to fruition because she's so powerful. She's breaking through. She's breaking through this fake reality that she created for herself, and I think it's messing with her head because she has expectations that this is the new life.
I mean, she's cracking. We already know that. I mean, beyond if there's something else influencing her or if there's something powering her or something that has control over her, we see her cracking. I mean, as we all know, the whole entire like destruction of her like homeland, her home world, her parents dying, losing her brother, then Vision, and then she's gone through traumatic. I mean, look at this on any other regard or scale. She's gone through a lot. So, and this is happening too. She's not all there.
I think she created this to hide away, to fight or flight kicked in. She chose flight.
Coping mechanism, yeah.
She chose flight, and she found a way to kind of like conjure up the best parts of her life, maybe even things that she remembered watching on TV when she was young. She put it all into one pocket reality and create it. But yet there still is an entity that we know that Agnes is a part of this, but there is an entity there that wants to control her.
We're
via
assuming.
children.
They might not shown
We
it,
know
so.
that there's like she is for sure. Someone is trying to pull it, not necessarily pull the strings, because it's clear that Wanda is pulling the strings.
Mm-hmm.
But someone is trying to take advantage of an opportunity, and it still cries Mephisto to me. I don't know, because
Wanda
they
is
want
the
those
red herring
kids
right now. That's the low hanging fruit where you're automatically looking at these first 4 episodes, and you were like, okay, it's Wanda. She's the bad guy.
No,
it's not going to be that.
It's not going to be the case.
It's going to be a bigger bad. Obviously, if you've seen anything online, you're going to, and we've talked about it too. You got Mephisto, you got Grim Reaper, of course, Agatha. You have all these things that have been,
quite a few possibilities.
What is actually, there's quite a few possibilities. But we're going to find out. We're halfway through the show. This episode personally it was great. They gave us a lot of details. We saw the other part of this, and we talked about going forward. We should probably see split time now, where it's going to show you the sitcom, and then it's also going to show you what's going on in the real world. So we think we might see that kind of going forward, or it might be one episode this, one episode that. But with only 4 episodes left, it's going to have to kick into gear. And then we're going to go right into the Falcon and the Winter Soldier in March, which if you've seen the previews for that looks more MCU for everybody, because you see it's just explosions and ass kicking the entire time in all the trailers. So that's going to be very intense as well. But with WandaVision, man, this is a mystery that's just going to open up Pandora's box, for what's going to go ahead in the MCU. What is happening right now is going to ripple throughout the rest of what's going to happen going forward in the next couple years.
That is very true. And we may be halfway through WandaVision, but we are all the way through this video, and we want to say thank you for watching. We gave up a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings, and a lot of theories. If you have any of those yourself, tag them in the comments, or if you're seeing this link from Facebook, go ahead and shoot a Facebook comment and everything. We would love to hear from you and respond in kind. So thank you guys for watching. Travis and Peel Show, out.
All right, once again, great episode, fun times with my friend. I cannot wait till next week and everything that we're going to go through moving forward. If you liked everything, please hit the buttons like, subscribe, share, leave your comments, theories, conspiracies, and just overall love and adoration.
I changed my mind. Don't do any of that. Terrible idea. Just go to the next video.